This nation is more divided than it's ever been. The division is just out of control. Left against right, friends against friends, family against family, even brothers against brothers. Jesus said back in Matthew chapter 12, verses 23 through 25, that in all the people were amazed at Jesus' miracles and said, "Can this be the son of David?" But when the Pharisees heard this, they said, "It is only by Beelzebub, the prince of demons, that this man can cast out demons." Knowing their thoughts, he, referring to Jesus, said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand." Now he's talking about the fact that he could not be from Satan and cast out Satan, because that type of division can't withstand. But that same principle that he taught can be applied to us today. This nation, this country, cannot stand if we continue to be divided and continue to fight with each other. So the question becomes, can our nation be healed? Let's look at that this week on my Hello, my name is Mike Gray, and welcome to another 5-minute message. You know, this can't be done by men. We keep expecting a leader to be elected and to bring us together. This can only be done by God. He is the only one who has the power to do this. And remember that God uses His will to be displayed through us, His children. And what we need is leadership today. Not by a political party, not by a president or a senate or anybody elected, or any self-proclaimed leader that might be out there. You see, this starts with us leading our families, with us leading our churches and our circles of influence. But how do we go about doing it? How can we be a leader in this world? Well, let's go to God's Word and see how that works. In the book of Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through 16, we are told that we are to lead by example. There's nothing more powerful than a leader who leads by example. That's something people can get behind and follow. And your family and your friends and your church can get behind you and follow. Matthew 5:13 through 16 says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hid, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand. And it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." See, that's the key, is we don't need to lead people to a common political principle, a common philosophy. We need to lead them to Christ. And we do that by spreading the gospel. And that's what a leader does. Leading by spreading the gospel will help heal all who hear it. The church in Corinth was divided. Remember, they were saying, "I was baptized by Paul, I was baptized by Apollos," and they were taking pride in that. But in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 4 through 7, Paul puts this all in perspective for the Corinthians, and it should for us as well. For when one says, "I will follow Paul," and another, "I will follow Apollos," are you not being merely human? What then is Apollos? What is Paul? Servants through whom you believed, as the Lord assigned to each. I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the growth. So neither he who plants nor he who waters is anything, but only God who gives the growth. This is the biggest key to it. When we lead by example, and we spread the gospel to others. We don't have to pick and choose who gets to hear the word. We don't have to be responsible for whether they respond or not. That's not our job. Our job is simply to spread the word, to plant the seed, as Paul would say. Or, as Apollos, to water that seed that's been planted by somebody else. And when we do so, if that seed has fallen onto a good heart, God will give the increase. He's the one that changes hearts. He's the one that changes lives, not us. He works his will through us when we demonstrate leadership in his word. The third thing we can do is we can lead with love and not hate. That's all we hear today. It's one side hates the other. There's no middle ground. There's no way of compromise. It's all about hate. But God said it's not. It's about love. See, the Corinthians, again, had the same problem. They were so divided over so many different things. And in this case, it was about their gifts that had been given to them. Some could speak in tongues. Some could interpret those tongues. Some could do prophecy. But each one thought that theirs was the most important and the best, and it caused division. Paul spoke to them very directly when he said in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1, "If I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal." It means what you said means nothing if you don't do it in love. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith as to move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. Verse 3 says, if I give away all that I have, if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. See, a leader has to lead through love, not through hatred. Not pointing out what people are doing wrong, but people pointing out what God does right. And leading them through a positive message of salvation by following the words of Jesus Christ. We need leadership in our families. We need leadership today in our churches. We need leadership today in our lives. And God can provide that leadership through us, through his word. So we need to be an example to all who know us, to tell others about the love of Jesus, and then demonstrate that love to all we meet in our lives. Maybe we can save this country from destruction, but it starts with me. And it starts with you. Thank you for watching.